The top 10 group bug out rules. What is going on with this? That's almost as weird as my sideways shades. I've been seeing this popping up all over the place on the YouTubes, and everybody's got an opinion. I'm gonna let you know right now, I've seen the thumbnails, I've not watched a single video, not one of them. So this conversation that we're about to have was not informed by the conversations that they had with y'all, if you watched them. Here's the deal. The Lord Humungus, Reality, Survival and Prepping, Prepper Logic, and others have all done videos on this. I'm going to chime in. Now, I don't know what they said. Might have been good stuff, might have been bad stuff, might be middle of the road stuff. I don't know. But I'd be curious to see. I'm curious because I just checked our subscribers the other day. By the way, shalom and welcome. No, I'm not a Jew, by the way. Get that question a lot. Jews generally don't walk around with assault rifles. I'm not a Jew. But that's another conversation. The best words. They're tremendous. Believe me, they're tremendous. Hand gestures. Have you seen Melania today? She's fabulous. Isn't she fabulous? She's beautiful. In Mexico, Mexico's going to pay. Believe me. Believe me. All right, moving on. We got a bunch of new subs. Welcome to the channel. A lot of these subs, I'm not going to blow anybody up, but man, JonXArmy, hello. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you, brother. Canadian Prepper, you're the reason I started this channel because I was afraid of the advice that you were giving to other people. But here you are, so welcome, question mark. Survival, Reality, Survival, and Prepping. I don't know you in person, but you seem like a good guy. So, shalom, brother. Man, the Lord Humungus is subscribed to us. Okay. So here's the deal. I bring this up because I don't consume a lot of content. I produce way more content than I consume because I'm busy. But I'd be very curious to see if things that come out of my mouth are ending up on other people's channels. And if so, I'd love to know about it, or at least, have a conversation about it. So, now that we've had 3-minute intro, I apologize about that. Let's talk about the top 10 group bug out rules. You ready? Rule 1. What's your bug out location? If you can't answer that question, you lose. Stop playing the game. You lose. Having a bug out bag and not having a bug out plan or a bug out location is not wise. Not wise at all. So rule 1 is, what is your bug out location? Know where you're going. Okay. And that's a dynamic thing. If then. If I'm here, then I'm going there. If I'm here, then I'm going there. If there are this many people with me, then I'm going here. If there's only this many people with me, I'm going there. If then, what is your bug out location? Rule 2, what is your bug out plan? How are you getting there? How are you getting from where you are to where you need to be? Again, if you have a bug out bag but don't have a bug out plan and a bug out location, you're doing it wrong. So you need the bug out location, where am I going? Then you need to figure out your bug out plan, how am I getting there? If it's 50 miles away, can I walk 50 miles? If so, how many miles in a day can I walk? If I can only walk 10 miles in a day, that's 5 days of walking. Can I carry 5 days worth of provisions on me? Should I plan for inclement weather? Okay, now we're talking a week. I can walk 10 miles in a day, hypothetically, but Jim's obese and Jim can't, or Susie's got a bad knee, or grandma's 80, or whatever. Bug out plan. How are you getting there? Then, step 3, bug out location. Oh, I'm sorry, bug out bag. I can read my own notes, they're the best. Step 3, bug out bag. Okay, your bug out bag, the loadout in your bug out bag should be spec'd according to your bug out plan, which is dependent upon your bug out location. So your bug out bag should have everything you need and nothing that you don't need. And truthfully, very few wants. Okay, this is bugging out. This is not hanging out in the wilderness and partying. So it's not really about the things that you want. It's about the things that you need. So I recommend the 5 C's of survival, which is combustion, cutting tool, container, cordage, and cover. Combustion, cutting tool, container, cordage, cover. You can go see Dave Canterbury at Pathfinder about that. then I also, for bug out, recommend 5 more. Combat, not something that's often talked about when it comes to bug out, but combat, the ability to put deadly force on target if needed. Should you? Don't go looking for a fight. But if somebody decides that for you, hey, we're in a deadly force engagement now, if you can't actually respond with deadly force, guess what? You lose. So combat. Compass. Maps are important. Having a compass in your pocket on your line 1 gear is important. Knowing how to use them is very important. Calories. Listen, if you're only bugging out for 3 days, you don't need calories. If you're bugging out 5 to 10 days, you should probably carry some. If your bug out's longer than that, you live in the wrong place. Okay. Casualty care. This is first aid. So you have your high-speed blowout kits, your tourniquets, your 14 gauge needles, your Israeli combat dressings or whatever. Some guy was like, Israeli combat dressings are out of date and you blah blah blah. I responded back and I was like, oh really, are they? And he replied again, he's like, I was just messing with you, make sure you were paying attention. Yeah, I'm paying attention. I love the Israeli combat dressing, right? You should have all of that, as well as just a general first aid kit, especially if you're in a vehicle borne system. General first aid kit or a trauma kit, it's a great thing to have. So casualty care, and then commo. If we're talking about groups here, you should have the ability to talk to each other. What equipment should you use? That's up to you guys. Develop a commo plan. PACE, primary, alternate, contingency, emergency. You need a commo plan. Primary plan, we're going to use Motorola encrypted radios. Alternate plan, we're going to use our cell phones. Contingency plan, we're going to bounce over to our Baofeng 888s, and we're going to use these 4 frequencies. And then emergency, we're all going to engage in the B protocol. What's the B protocol? That is B protocol, okay? So primary, alternate, contingency, emergency. So one of your C's on your bug out bag should be commo. So again, cutting tool, combustion, container, cordage, cover, combat, compass, calorie, casualty care, and then commo. So there's your 10. Says bear. Number 4, footwear and foot care. How many socks? All the socks. What kind of socks? The best socks. Tremendous socks. Patriotic wool socks. Like one of which has like red and white stripes on it, and the other one is a field of blue with white stars in it. Would be highly recommended. Made out of merino wool, about mid-calf. That'd be great. All of those is what you should have. But yeah, for real, all the socks. You should have good footwear that you walk in regularly that has been broken in. If it's not been broken in, guess what? You're going to spend the first several days walking in those things, breaking them in, and you are going to hate life. NWA Prepper, our brother, AdventureFrontier.com. By the way, if you just need to buy some gear, if you're pricing stuff, please check out AdventureFrontier.com. I make no money from them, nor do I want to. He's just a good brother of ours, a good guy with his heart in the right place. He's at SHOT Show right now, so you should swing by there, send him an email and say, hey, Bear sent me. Go buy something from him. So footwear and foot care, get that stuff squared away. As a group, does that matter? Yeah, it matters, because if you're squared away, but I'm not, and my footwear sucks, guess what? We're all only as strong as our weakest link. So that stuff matters, right? And get this too, okay? A lot of people are like, well, I'm gonna bug out in my GMC Yukon Denali XLT with an 8-inch lift on it, running 37s, and I got a blah, blah, whatever. Every system ultimately degrades into a man-portable system. If you can't carry it, it doesn't exist. And what is the number one way that you interface with the earth while carrying weight? Your feet. So if your feet aren't squared away, you don't have a bug out plan. You have a we're gonna die about 3/4 of a mile from right here plan. That's a big problem. Number 5, you need to actually bug out. Now this is a double-edged sword here. You can't just sit around and wait for things to get so terrible around you that you lose the ability to bug out and now you're in a shelter-in-place situation. That's not good, which means that you need to have your indicators figured out now as a group. What are we gonna do when whatever, when the stock market hits this, or when Uruguay invades, or whatever. Pick your benchmarks. And do I have? Yes, I have them. Not up for discussion right now. Different video for a different time, right? But what are your triggers, and what do you do when triggered, other than find a safe space and yell at the wall, right? Call your guidance counselor. When to bug out, right? If you don't know what that is as a group, then you're going to get stuck in a shelter-in-place situation, which is not recommended for the vast majority of you. For me, that's kind of my go-to, is shelter-in-place. I'm okay, because, I mean, look, I'm blessed to be here. But most of y'all, shelter-in-place is not good. The flip side of that is, okay, now you're bugging out. Now we're going. We're moving. Move! Double knife hand move! Right? Like one of those is going on. They're like, everybody, get to the chopper! I love Schwarzenegger quotes. I'm here, do it now, kill me! And what's that one with the Harrier jump jet? True Lies? He's like, jump, Dana! Daddy loves you! Whether or not you love me, Daddy, doesn't make it any easier for me to jump from a crane onto a Harrier jump jet. Like, the logic here is not the best. Anyway. Do it now, I'm here, kill me! So, you actually need to bug out, which means when it's go time, it's go time. Don't stop and smell the roses, okay? You need to go. And to this end, I want to add this, because I've talked about this many times in many videos. If you, in your mind right here, have convinced yourself that you're going to hunt, fish, trap, forage, and scavenge everything you need to survive for the rest of your life as the world ends and crumbles all around you, you're delusional. Especially while you're bugging out. Bugging out is about getting from where you are, I'm right here, I need to be over there, go. Okay? That's what it's about. So if you're not operating with that mindset, if you think, well, we're going to stop and fish, oh, we can hunt, I'll forage some food, we might be able to trap something. Maybe. But every moment you spend doing that is a moment that you're not beating feet and you're not getting from where you are to where you need to be. The reason you're bugging out, remember, is to put distance in between you and a perceived threat. Okay? You need to remove yourself from the situation. So don't operate, or at least I don't operate with the mindset that I'm just going to go out here and be wilderness man, and yeah, it might take me 3 weeks to get from here to, you know, southwestern Missouri, but, you know, I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to have a great, I'll hunt some meat and go fishing, and, you know, maybe I'll pick some chanterelles and I'll bushcraft me a little hideout, and, you know, we can have camp and make a cabin and we could all sit around and whittle our spoons together. No, that's not me. It's not me at all, and I don't operate that way. I'd rather take 5 more pounds, 10 more pounds of stuff on my back, knowing I don't have to stop, than go ultra light and have to stop for 4 to 6, 8 hours of every day to facilitate my every whim and need. Not interested in that. So, you need to actually bug out. Number 6, commonality of caliber and weapons platforms. In an ideal world, let's make people mad, this will be fun. In an ideal world, you should have an AR-15 running 30-round magazines loaded with 5.56 ammunition, probably 62 grain LAP, and be carrying a 9mm Glock 19. Everybody. Is that the best? No, it's not the best. But 80% of all handguns in the world are 9mm. 80% of all handguns in the world are 9mm. It's also a commonly issued handgun round, so the likelihood that you can scavenge it is going to be much higher than if you carry a 41 Magnum, or even a 40 S&W, or a 45, like me. Same thing with 7.62 by 39. It's not that common of a caliber. Or, well, the ballistically superior 5.45 by 30, who cares? NATO is not issuing that. There are not pallets upon pallets upon pallets upon warehouses full of it here in the United States. Which leaves us with 5.56 or 7.62 by 51. If you want to carry 7.62 51, go for it. But again, commonality of caliber, 5.56 and 9mm. Ideal? Yeah. The best? No. But why does that matter? Because if we're doing this, right? Bang, 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 I run dry, click, nothing happens. Like, oh, I'm out. Oh, I'm still out. Somebody throw me a mag. And Bob over here hands me a mag, and I'm like, oh, that's right, Bob's chambering 6.5 Grendel. That doesn't help me. Or if I'm super ultra tactical and I'm chambering 6.8 SPC, and this guy over here is running 300 blackout, and this guy's got 5.5 5.45 by 39, and this guy's 7.62 by 39, and this guy's 7.62 by 51, and this guy's 7.62 by 54R in his Mosin, and this guy over here's 5.56 by 45, we all suck. We can't help each other. So commonality of caliber matters, and platforms matter as well, because let's say something happens, the firing pin doesn't, I break a firing pin. Okay, but Jim on the team, or he, as he prefers to be called, you know, he's, you know, Black Mamba Actual or whatever, okay? Black Mamba Actual has a parts kit in his ruck with the spare firing pin in it. I'm good to go. Unless I'm running, you know, the new Bushmaster ACR because I saw it on the cover of Recoil magazine and it's super tactical. Who cares? You're dead. So commonality of caliber, commonality of weapons platforms is extremely important, and I think that we should all be there. Now, and we can take, you know, we got a little bit of time. Let's go on a little trail. What about a loadout? Or at least let's talk about what weapons to have, where. Let's say you got 10 guys in your group. 2 of them should be running, probably one of them 7.62 by 51 or 308 Winchester. 308 Winchester would be preferred. Either an AR-10 or some type, you know, a SCAR 17, or, you know, even a bolt gun, like an M40 pattern bolt gun or something like that for throwing rounds at distance. Okay, think Overwatch. And then a teammate for him who has some type of variable power objective, you know, recce style rifle that he can spot for him. Okay, so that's 2 guys right there. Overwatch. 6 guys with ARs, and probably 2 guys with shotguns. And I'd say the 2 guys that are least likely to find themselves in harm's way with shotguns, 12 gauges. And maybe a couple of those slick little 10-22s, some women carrying around a couple of 10-22s. And I know there's totally badass women out there, so please don't get upset. I'm not saying that they're not, you know, or maybe, you know, Steven from The Office, he's, you know, give Steven the 22 and you, Mary Sue, take his AR, whatever. I don't care. But I do think it's a good idea to have 12 gauge and 22 in your repertoire. But I don't like the idea of betting your life on 22 long rifle, which I've talked about in other videos. But it is good to have around. Pest control, small game hunting, if you eat things that go forth on pause, that's cool. Shotguns, need I say more? You know, you can kill anything from, you know, a freaking field mouse to a bull elephant with a 12 gauge, depending on your loading. So yeah, you should have 12 gauges around as well. That's kind of how I see the breakdown. I really like the 12 gauge for a lot of reasons. And yeah, it's rounds limited, but dude, if you even get a couple of those rounds on you, your life sucks, and it sucks real bad. So, moving on. Number 7, caches. Now, you could say a cache, but if you say cache, you have to tilt your pinky up. Cache. A cache and spider points. If your bug out is longer than, and again, we're talking about groups here, longer than, let's say, 30 miles, 50 miles on foot, okay, assuming that the average person is going to maybe make 10 miles on foot per day, maybe. You know, there's people that'll ruck march 40 miles in a day, no problem. They're going to hate their life, but they can do it. I'd say 20 miles is probably a little bit more viable. 10 miles is definitely doable. I do 3 miles every morning. Well, 6 days a week, I do 3 miles every morning. And it takes me anywhere between 29 minutes on a good day and 36 minutes on a bad day, depending. And I go up and down in weight, and, you know, the weather changes. So 33 minutes this morning was 73 pounds in light snow. But I do that 6 days a week, so I'm used to doing that. Most of y'all, double knife hand, are not. You should get used to doing that. But assuming that you're not going to be able to carry everything that you'll probably need with you, which is going to be food and water, and we'll get to this here in a hot minute, but food and water, you need the ability to resupply. Basic tenet here is there is no resupply. You are your own resupply. The Black Hawk is not coming and lowering the winch line for you, okay? There is no resupply. So you have to take that upon yourself to create caches of material, put in a 5-gallon bucket, wrap it in, you know, 3mm plastic, duct tape it all together, dig a hole, throw it in there, mark the location on your GPS, and remember what it looks like too. And there's a difference in the fall, winter, as there is in spring, summer as well, as to what does it look like. But pre-positioned cachets are highly recommended, and I think if you have a long bug out, you should consider it. Another thing you should consider is spider points, if then. Like we talked about that as far as our bug out location and our bug out plan, if then. If I can't go east because the New Madrid fault has erupted and everything's gone to hell, okay, maybe I need to go north, maybe I need to go south, maybe I need to go west, okay? So who do I know in that direction, and how have I planned to proceed from where I am to them in that direction? Planning is a big part of success. One of my favorite rules is the rule of the 7 Ps. Proper previous planning prevents piss poor performance. So, the more planning of your routes and your contacts and your loadouts and your caches you've done ahead of time, the better you're going to be positioned on the battlefield of life if when things happen. So, there you go. Number 8, this is not a democracy. I don't care, Ted, sit down. Shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter. Whoever is the senior man or woman is the senior man or woman. That doesn't mean we can't discuss things. It doesn't mean we can't come to a consensus if we have the time to do that. But somebody has to be the leader to say, we're going. Zip it, move out, go. Yes, sir, here I go. Okay? This is not a democracy, especially in a time of chaos. We do not have time to sit around and draw straws, play tiddlywinks, do some testing. Well, Bob, the testing came back. Apparently people are not a big fan of doing cold water, wet weather crossings, creek crossings. It's just not tremendous. We're going to have to find a bridge. Too bad. We're going. We're all going to get wet. You're damn right we are. And then we're going to march until we're warm enough to not die and then make fire. That's what we're going to do. Well, okay, Bob, I guess that's it. Shut up. We're marching. Let's go. Okay? This is not a democracy. And I'm fully aware of the fact that I may not, probably will not be the most capable person in the group. And there are different specialties of the different people in the group. So maybe when it comes to making shelter, Jim Bob is the best. Jim Bob, you're in charge of shelter. I don't want to own that. But when it comes to setting up a defensive perimeter, got it. Okay? But this is not a democracy. Number 9, everything is a tactical consideration. If you have to pee and we have to stop while we're moving, it's not let's just stand here and, everybody hydrate, or, everybody pick their nose, or, chuck your old pinch of snuff and grab a new one, or munch peanuts, or what, it's not that. It's take a knee, points out, make sure we're covered, all right? Everything is a tactical consideration. So the more you have with you, the less you have to stop and hunt, fish, trap, forage, scavenge, pretend that you're going to be able to do this stuff when you're probably not going to be able to do it. The better things will be. You limit your exposure to outside elements. You have better noise discipline. Yeah, that's a thing. Better noise discipline. And you make better time. Something as simple as just having water on you. That's a big deal. Having calories on you. Man, my line 1 gear has a day's worth of calories in it. My line 1. I'm talking belts and pockets. Line 1 has a day's worth of calories in it. Then line 2 has another day's worth of calories in it. And then we get to line 3, my ruck. Man, I could go 5 days without even busting into my ruck just by policing my calories. And, I'm gonna go forage morels, man. They're beautiful. They're full of this psilocybin, and you eat them, and it's super trippy. I don't know, okay? But everything's a tactical consideration. So you need to stay switched on while you're moving about the forest or bugging out or whatever, okay? It's not just, hey, man, I gotta go pee. I'm gonna go pee on this tree, right? Yeah, while you're peeing, there needs to be 3 guys covering you at a minimum. And then when it's their turn to pee, everybody covers everybody. Because let's be honest, if I'm tracking you, and I'm just waiting for you to make a mistake that I can take advantage of. That's what I would be doing. So if you're going to pee and you're standing there doing your thing, not a problem. Or maybe it's a knife and, things happen or whatever. Number 10, there are no rules. This is all BS. And so is everybody else's video. There are no rules. There are no top 10 rules. You know what's best for you and your group and your situation. There are only suggestions. There's really good suggestions and really bad suggestions, but there is nothing hard and fast depending upon what the situation on the ground is. It's like Musashi and the Five Rings. When you know the path broadly, you can see the path in all things, right? So you have to know how to play the game in order to understand what parts of the game matter and what parts don't, and how am I going to play this one, I'm not going to play that one, yada, 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 right? But there are no hard and fast rules. You know what to do. And you need to probably stop watching YouTube videos and start doing it. And implementing these ideas and putting it together and then testing it. Throw your ruck on, get 3 of your buddies and go for a walk. Man, that guy's loud. I never realized how much I can't stand this guy. Man, we've been together 3 hours and I'm seriously thinking about just, pushing him off a cliff. Or at least kicking him in the knee. At least. Oh, sorry, man. Oops. I didn't mean to just completely shatter your patella. I'm sorry. My bad. There are no hard and fast rules. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Go do. Go do. Go play with all of this stuff, and you'll figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So, with that, y'all are still here, I'm imagining, so let's do the shouty out things. If you need professional help with this stuff, you can see us at Prosperity. Now that's the word prosper and the word ready. You see the branding there? It's fabulous. Prosper Ready. Prosperity.com. You can go to the brand new bearindependent.com. It's still under construction, but you can find out how to get a hold of me there if you want to legit talk about this kind of stuff. So what Prosperity does is train up groups, train up individuals, and also concierge readiness. So if you're like, hey man, I just need a pallet of 5.56, gotcha. Or, I want to train 12 guys to move as one unit in the Pacific Northwest. Not a problem, I'm on a plane. Stuff like that, okay? Or I just have a question. So, Prosperity, which is prosperready.com, or bearindependent.com as well. The patrons, the $20 plus tiers of patrons, they get calls with me. That's one of their perks. It starts at 15 minutes a month and it goes up from there. So if you have a legitimate question that you want to ask me in person, you can call me up. The $20, $50, $100 patrons have that opportunity and that blessing. And truthfully, I enjoy it. So that's something you might consider. Now, the GoFundMe for Gilbert's op fund is still up. That's gofundme.com /Gilberts, GILBERTS, OP fund, FUND. You can check that out. I'll put that down in the description. And we'll be there 17 February 2019, being hands and feet and helping to serve. So if you want to engage in that, you can. And let's see what else. Again, patreon.com /TJ Morris, November Tango X-Ray, Mike Alpha Golf, NTX Mag. And then teespring.com /stores /bear-independent-swag if you want to buy t-shirts. And the email is ntxmag@gmail.com. Now, truthfully, I don't mean to blow you guys up with, here's all the ways that you can find out about, but I gotta say it because I'm getting like way too many emails every day with all these questions, which is a blessing that this many people are reaching out, but it's there now. And I put all that stuff down in the description as well, so you can find it if you're looking for it. So, as always, I'm humbled and amazed by this, that we get to do this, and I'm thankful for it. And I really do appreciate you guys thinking enough of me to stick around and watch what I have to say. And again, it's because of what I consider to be poor information out there on the internet that I wanted to start doing this. And it's not that long ago we had a video, woohoo, 27 subs. I don't lose sight of that. And as I said recently on a live stream, there's a thing hanging on my wall in my office that says there are people depending on you. There's people depending on you too. So show up and get after it. So shout out to all of our new subs, including JonXArmy, I see you, sir. Reality, Survival, and Prepping, I see you, sir. Prepper Logic, sup? Canadian Prepper, you know what? Maybe you're a great guy in person. Maybe I got you all wrong. I don't know. Email me. Let's talk on the phone. All right. Maybe I'm all wrong. I'm entirely willing to admit that maybe I am. The Lord Humungus, same thing. Maybe I'm all wrong. Maybe I got you wrong, brother. I don't know. And then everybody else that's out there who's, you know, supporting the show, loving on us, emailing us. Thank you guys for being here. So with that, this 10-minute video is now a half an hour long. So shalom.